Tell Mr. Diggle, Sir John and Commander Fitzjames are coming aboard to dine tonight. He can choose whatever he likes in my storeroom. He'll enjoy that.
Yes, sir.
Welcome aboard, Sir John. Captain Fitzjames.
As I climbed the ladder, I was thinking of Caesar crossing the Rubicon. We reached the top, and I saw the city of Qingqiang laid out before us.
Like the shot that killed Lord Nelson at Trafalgar.
With it. But it means our little summer strait is likely coming to...
In your prior engagements with the Eskimo, did you find them at all unforgiving when those they love are wronged? Vengeful, even?
Having never wronged them, I couldn't testify.
Well, are we not at all concerned that if that girl can make it all the way back to her people on her own, she may call on them for revenge?
Were we to put her down the fire hole as well? She wasn't our prisoner, Edward.
The Eskimo man's tongue was hacked off. We don't know why. Say it was punishment. If that's how they punish one of their own, then what must they do to...
Breakfast is ready.
Jobson, my coat. I'm leaving for Erebus. No escort is necessary.
You have nothing to fear, Lieutenant. Girls' people are far too busy staying alive to wage a war.
They must be boxing with that bear after all.
Sir John forbade this plan. I implore you, please stop. We have lost, Sir John!
These words are not mine. They're Sir John's. He wanted you to hear them. Jacob lighted upon a certain place and tarried there because the sun was set. World, companion to the known one we perceive, with its rocks.
Let's come onto the ship, Edward.
It's got Strong! William Strong, sir. It took him. We heard someone yelling for help out on the ice, and then we realized Strong was missing.
Go, we'll get 30 men at the slops as quick as he can.
Have Mr. Armitage open up the armory. Shotguns to half.
Headlock!
The lust of the year. Feels like an omen.
We found the creature's track circling Terra. No others.
No Eskimo boots.
Only Navy issue. And none near the stern.
Well, perhaps it would not be a mystery to the indigenous people here.
Indeed.
In the morning.
Yes, sir. The morning. Enough is enough.
He ducked back down immediately. He gestured us to be still. I climbed past him and looked.
You saw his eyes, Mr. Hickey?
You were told not to speculate. Be silent, Mr. Hickey.
In addition, you will be permanently on 6 water.
A full court-martial is technically required when a ship is lost.
Bring me a chart and I'll show you exactly where we are.
Good morning, Captain.
Are we to have a command meeting without our commander again?
Captain Crozier sends his regrets. Mr. Hornby's overseeing the transfer below.
Is there something you're not telling me, Edward?
Much to do on Terra is also.
Directly concerning the ice. You will take her back with you today when you go.
So have you considered that on Terra are the very men
It's
who...
Francis's problem now. I no longer accept to host that girl aboard my ship. The men here are becoming upset by her.
Upset, sir?
And finally, foot, feet.
Fitzjames orders them removed every morning. Promises punishment for leaving them.
We'll have orders to pack her up. She's Tara's problem now.
You're taking her? May I come also? I'm working out a dictionary of the Inuktitut, and she's talking. Finally. And at speed.
Has she spoken any more of the creature?
I feel we're close.
You understand Tara's situation?
I do?
Get leave then.
Ah, Edward. How fares the raft of the Medusa?
Mr. Hornby collapsed on the ice on the trek back. Dr. MacDonald thinks his heart stopped.
Hornby's dead.
He is. They're preparing him now to take him down to the hold with the others. Sorry to mix things, sir, but we've also brought back the Lady Silence with us. I tried to remind Captain Fitzjames who's aboard, but he insisted. Mr. Good, sir, came along as well. Apparently he's making some progress with what you asked.
Ready the spur.
Francis, in this bloody cold, no one should be out there for more than half an hour.
You're right. I'll hold a service for him tomorrow.
Ready the spare mast to be taken up. We'll see what the ice wants next, then finalize a buttress plan in the morning.
Aye.
No whiskey in Erebus's spirit room, sir. Only gin. Rum and gin.
Damn it!
I'm not sure Mr. Collins is going to be as discreet as we'd hoped.
You go back. And this time you tell Mr. Collins to get it from Mr. Hornby's dad. As Mr. Helpman is on Erebus, would you be so kind as to collect Mr. Hornby's personal things and put them in store? Would you recall how much whiskey is left in my stores?
2 bottles, sir.
Bring them up.
Yes, sir.
That's your clock.
See it doesn't run out.
Yes, sir.
Do this in her time.
Please.
Dunga kruhi. Nekomik. Ingeluti.
Do you know the word, Mr. Blanky?
Tunbak umea likut iliao yok atatevit.
Maybe it's gone off somehow.
Lieutenant Little, Lady Silence is to be denied protection on either ship.
Sir.
Surely there's
Thomas
another way.
escort her off Tara. Let her back aboard only if she's screaming for help.
You be careful now.
Everyone out.
You ready, Mr. Blanket?
I need to ask the 4 of you for a favor that will likely be a great imposition. And be my proxy here, Edward.
Take this. Take it.
Don't give it back to me until you see me on deck again.
A worse case of gastritis surely than ever was.
We've not heard that sound in far too long.
We're using a lot of supplies, sir.
We can't possibly possibly carry all this come spring.
So it's settled then. We're walking.
Well, Francis will decide. Yes, it does seem inescapable now. He was right all along. And we were deaf to him. Listen, Lieutenant. We need to give the men a last hurrah before we open their ears. Have you chosen a disguise?
We gave our trunk to the men. Most of the officers are making their own.
Don't wait to choose until all the best ideas are snapped up.
We've got homes. Welcome the first sunrise of the year. South to the mainland. And we have several...
We can spend several weeks here. It'd be best to tamp down every trace of illness before continuing.
It was a hard trip, even for the halest in our party. I never want to feel ice under my boots again. We make it out of this. All these men deserve medals in gold.
We make it out of this. The men deserve every gold thing there is. Did you sight anything at all on your trek here?
You saw no signs of the creature, if that's your question.
Lieutenant, the perimeter's drawn now, but it's not loaded.
How do you mean, Sergeant?
I'd like to recommend arming some additional men in camp. Even with our camp tightly pitched, the size of the perimeter still concerns me. We're only 8.
Who first comes to mind?
We'll put some thought into it. Armitage, he's a crack shot, as is Crisp. Lanson's up to it, seems to me. Keeley, Coombs, Mr. Hickey would be a good help.
We'll hold off on that. They're to full. We'll be able to see miles in every direction. If something comes hunting us, there'll be time to ring. Aye, sir. We can revisit this. But for the moment, the armory is closed past arms for Marines and officers.
Aye, sir.
I don't understand why he makes that request, sir.
As do I. Not just rotting. Dr. Goodsir has discovered a more insidious issue, which has been silently undercutting all of us for years.
All the counts. Every single one of them.
One south, one east. Each party will have 2 officers and 4 mixed men. They will surely have concerns about traveling any distance in such small numbers, but it is a risk we urgently need to take.
And if we're unable to find game, sir?
Then we will proceed as we have and keep moving south.
I'll take south. Lieutenant Irving can take east.
You'll stay in camp with Commander Fitzjames and myself. We need to start planning the freshwater parties.
That leaves only 3 lieutenants, sir.
Because it is needed, and because it is deserved, I am making a promotion this morning. An emergency measure, if you will. But one that is wholly sincere. To my knowledge, this has never been done. But then, much of what we are now doing has never been done so. Well, gentlemen, we have a new lieutenant to welcome this morning. James. There's some modicum of protocol that must be observed.
Good luck. Thank you.
Attack? For what reason?
Apparently, as soon as they sighted Lieutenant Irving and Mr. Farr, they set upon them. With knives.
They were already...
How many nets select were killed?
5.
Evidence did you observe when you arrived as an attack on our men had taken place?
Lieutenant Irving and Mr. Farr's bodies were put through something I can't even find English words for. I didn't...
Do I have your permission to assist the Marines in getting a perimeter set up with additional guns and men?
From a distance, yes. And ran to retrieve us. He was unarmed and too far to help Mr. Farr. Shall I fetch him here to give his own account?
Dr. Goodsir and Lady Silence can join us. May be able to discern something I cannot. Anyone else? Sir?
Pardon my asking again, sir, but are we supplementing the Marines or not? They want to build a proper perimeter with or without us.
They are us, Edward. Remind them. Give Sergeant Tozier as many pairs of eyes as he wants. But as long as the fog holds off, have the armory tent prepare fast kits, but don't arm additional men.
Yes, but...
Do you not remember flogging men on this expedition for sedition?
Officers, you should set off. The forenoon watch has already begun. Keep the men ready in case Mr. Hickey is telling the truth, but calm in case he is not.
You know what I'm asking, and I know it's unfair to even pose the question to another officer, and one who wasn't there.
All we have are our instincts and training. If both told you to proceed with what you ordered, then be easy with yourself.
My mother's cousin had a relation who married a Texas man. She moved to a territory down there called Victoria in '38. One morning, they woke up to 600 Comanches screaming through their gates. They had no warning. From what my cousin was told, this good lady managed to get all but one of her children under the house before they seized her. A ranger found her in a tree 6 days later with her skirts torn off and her head cleaved open to the stem. That town was burned, as were several more over the next week. They never found the other child. They killed children, you realize.
George, find Commander Fitzjames and send him to the armory immediately.
Make way. Move your backs. Everyone, stand still.
Where is Commander Fitzjames?
I haven't seen him, sir.
Then it was not he who made this order.
There was no order, sir. My men can hear it.
And you allowed this?
This camp has no cover whatsoever. Who knows if the Esky girl's been sending them signals as to what we're all about. If they come, perhaps you'd like to make the order, sir. The time is now.
Mr. Armitage, do not scrimp on that logbook. I want to see a record of every issue taking place here.
And for very clear reasons.
It was the fog that changed my thinking, sir. I thought you'd see it differently as well. There was no time, sir. I'd heard there were signs. Some of the men heard things out in the fog.
Which men?
And in its place, we've an even worse problem. We've traded an imaginary invasion from without for a real invasion from within. If Mr. Hickey killed Lieutenant Irving...
What is our evidence against him?
That's seal meat, sir. Barely digested.
Lieutenant Irving must have come back to tell them about the meat.
Hodgson, will you confirm?
Arrest Mr.
Not
Hickey now.
Marines, sir. It was Sergeant Tozer who armed the men, in fact. I took his story and made it my order. I thought I was doing right. I'm the worst kind of sorry, sir.
Deputize them. Sweep the camp. Anyone below a wardroom officer disarm, including the Marines. Put one of the mates in charge of the armory.
DeVoe.
And find the carpenters.
Carpenters, sir.
With that proof comes confirmation of the next, more pernicious charges of sedition and mutinous designs. These charges are all punishable by death. And at Captain Crozier's discretion, the sentence will be carried out by hanging before the men now assembled. Mr. Hickey and Sergeant Tozer will be given last words. But first, your captain would like to speak.
The armory. That's where they'll go.
Give me as many as you can.
Take Tozer. Tozer!
Lay down those arms.
Where are the Marines?
Come with us, Lieutenant.
I'll not tell you again.
No one can see you now. You're invisible. They'll think you've died and been carried off.
Get on the ground.
Hickey didn't get to say half of what he wanted to say. Edward. That's your name, isn't it? Edward. Crozier was going to lead that sledge party himself and leave. Quit the Navy. Quit all of us. You didn't know that, did you? He was going to leave you a big losing hand, Edward. Watch out.
I lost them. The boat's gone.
Tozer's with them. They have at least 5 guns.
Let them go.
Sir! The sweep party's coming with a sighting.
If Hickey's group split, they'll be trying to flank us.
No, sir. It's the creature. They said they saw it lurching around off to the west, down along the rack. It came in and then headed back to the ice and disappeared. Didn't seem to detect us.
Lurching, you say?
Wounded, perhaps.
We're fully through with the salt meats now. What we have left beyond the tins amounts mostly to biscuits, tea, chocolates.
Sir, our pace has slowed, hauling some of the ill in boats. But if we can extend this temporary camp for more than a few days, we can allow the ill to rest here, while the bulk of us proceed south. And hopefully find game and trek back for the others once we have something more to offer them.
We send out hunting parties every day.
Some, surely. Not for all of us.
As you said yourself, Captain, our journey is still a long one.
For following it. And I speak not only of James.
Do you wish to speak, sir?
Don't want him found in port.
Yes, sir.
If we'd had our wits about us, James and I would have taken a shot. West of us again.
Lieutenant Little, gather the men. We'll discuss the strategy.
Sir.
We'll need high ground. Put all the sick in the middle and face it down with all the ammo we've got.
Hold on, Henry.
How wide would you guess it to be?
Wide enough for our boat. Yes, sir.
Weeks. This could save us weeks of travel. If the ice opens up enough, we could row across the strait and into the river. Should we scout it properly?
Without delay.
Sir? Sir.
Gone down, Edward. Come back for Hartnell's body. Bury him.
Then keep moving south, as planned. Don't wait for me.
Sir.
You are to lead the men forward, Edward.
You and the others will live.
I understand the order, sir.
Let me hear it.
We will live.
The men you asked for are assembled, sir.
Ben, whether we want it or not, we're drawn by the events of yesterday into a conflict with the other camp. We must plan a party to retrieve our captain and any other men who are compelled against their will, and arrest this coven of traitors once and for all.
What about the captain's order, sir? For us to keep moving south?
You can guess my mind on that subject, I'm certain. Now, Private Hammond believes the other camp should not be hard to track on this ground. They certainly had no trouble finding us.
We prefer the captain's orders, sir.
To hell with the captain's orders. We have a camp of nearly 30 men here. We've got 9 so ill they cannot walk, with no surgeon to tend them. We've but 2 able-bodied lieutenants for the lot of us. None of us speaks the Netzvlik tongue. None has been in the polar regions before. To restore our best chance of survival, we must restore our captain. Surely that is plain. And given we have Hickey's camp outnumbered and outgunned, we can expect to retrieve him without a single man lost.
We prefer the order, sir.
Well, I'm giving a different order.
There's been a vote, Edward.
When?
An hour ago. Before you woke. Situation.
You would leave our captain with that devil.
He wouldn't have urged us to go on if he didn't think it were the best plan, sir.
We've also voted that each man can do as he wishes. We don't force you to come with us. We'll leave supplies for the ill.
Most of us are ill.
We're leaving today. Those who cannot walk on their own to a sledge will stay. Once we make our next land camp, if we can, we'll return for them.
He also ordered we not leave any man behind. You expediently leave that out. What if I, and anyone here who still feels a pull of loyalty, organize our own rescue party?
Edward, we hope you'll come with us.
To what? All.
And to survive.
Nedward.